Hey y'all, how y'all doing? It is the 26th of September, and we have about 1 minute prior to um Core PCE being released. This is the 4 hour. I'm gonna drop to the 15 minute and see if we see anything happen. I'm actually gonna go a little lower. We have a little movement, a little up movement there. I'm gonna actually open this up, zoom in a little bit more. So we just broke that top. I'm going to say this bottom because the red ones are consolidations. And you know what? I'm going to make them yellow so that they just kind of stand out a little bit more. So it looks like we're headed up so far. If we break here, I'm not even in paper trading. So yeah, trying to log in. There we go. So you can see I am in paper trading. Now we're on the 5 minute time frame. Um, we're coming up to the top here of this consolidation. This is the main consolidation from yesterday, the yellow lines. Um, if we break through, I'm curious if we're going to kind of pull back. If we break through, gonna go into 3 contracts. Now, I will tell you this, when you are trading, you need to have a plan. I was a little late getting to the charts this morning to make this recording. So I don't necessarily have a plan. I knew we were in consolidation. We can see the consolidation got tighter and tighter. We have broke to the top of this little micro consolidation, but yet and still, um, I don't necessarily have a plan. So one of the things I'm going to suggest that you do if you don't have a plan, don't trade. Because you need to know I am going to enter here. This is where I'm going to put my stop loss. This is where I'm going to put my take profit. And the 5 minute time frame, unless you're scalping, is not the place to figure that out. Your that analysis should come from a higher time frame. So I probably will not be taking a trade, but we are just going to watch to kind of see what happens. So this is core PCE. That pushed up. This candle's like 33 points, so it's about 50, 60 points. Push up on that 5 minute candle. So what I'll probably do is set myself up for a trade in maybe about 30, 45 minutes. So I'll have to go back, do some analysis, set my trade up, and go from there. So we always want to have a plan. When you come into the market without a plan, that's when the market gets you. So we always want to have a plan. So no plan, no trade. I can sit and watch, but I can't take a trade. Now, even though I logged into paper trading, if this is my real account, what I would do is not log into my account, because if my account is open, it will encourage me to take a trade. And one of the biggest things you have to be able to do in trading, as hard as this may sound, is do nothing. You have to be able to do nothing. You have to be able to, if I'm not prepared, I do nothing. I go back, I get prepared. There is always another opportunity in the markets. It's not just this one in front of you. There's going to be one in an hour. There's going to be one in 4 hours. There's going to be one next week. There's going to be one next month. There's going to be an opportunity next year. So this is not your only opportunity to profit in the market. And you always want to make sure that the odds are in your favor. If the odds are not in your favor, you shouldn't be trading. Like, what's the point? Why take a rogue trade? If you saw my trade yesterday, you saw that I took a trade that I should not have taken. Even though it worked out, it doesn't mean that I should have taken it. So I've shown you guys a lot what not to do. What I'm showing you today is what to do, which is nothing. I'm not prepared. So I only get to watch, and I can come back later and look for an entry. There's always another entry later, and take the trade. So where are we going? I don't even have levels above this because all I marked off was where we are right now. And I'm on the 5 minutes. So let me move up to the 30 and get an idea of what this looked like. We have 22 minutes left on this candle. And I know that's a little hard to watch right here, but I want to see some levels. We have levels over here. I don't want that white or that thick. We have some levels over here. These are 30-minute levels. I would not necessarily want to take my trades from these levels. At this point, I'm just putting some charts, some support or resistance at this point on the chart and see if we break through. That's all I'm doing. This is not this is not calculated. So I haven't sat here and said if this what you want to do. So I'm going to put some notes here on the screen. So the first thing you want to know is who's in control. That's the first thing you want to know. I need to know, are bears or bulls in control? On the higher time frame, 99.9% of the time, it is the bulls. The bulls are in control because the market is designed to go up. Every now and then, the bears sneak in and they take over control. Now, on the lower time frames, you have more transfer of power, so to speak. If you are working 15-minute, 30-minute time frame, you will see a transfer of power. There are times that the bulls are in control. There are times that the bears are in control. So who's in control is going to depend on the time frame that you are trading. Who's in control? So as of right now, I'm going to say these bulls look like they're in control. The bears were in control here. So we have bulls in control, bears in control, bulls in control, bears in control, bulls, bears, and then we get into they're kind of in agreement and oops, I'm sorry, they're having this discussion that I like to say. They trying to figure out, so man, what you gonna do? Like, you want to go up, you want to go down, like who's gonna lose? I look at consolidation like they're having this discussion, trying to work out who's gonna do what when. Well, y'all go ahead and run up this time, bulls. We'll come back and get y'all on the next time. So we gonna let you have this for right now, but we'll be back and we'll take over in about 5 candles, whatever it is. But I consider consolidation. This is the discussion for the transfer of power. That's what's happening here. We're on the 30-minute time frame. So this transfer of power can happen a whole lot of times in a day. So right now it's the bulls. So that's the number one thing I want to know before I take any trade. Who's in control? Second thing I want to know is where is my support. And I'm going to just put support and resistance, SNR. Where's my support and resistance? Where on this chart can the bears show up and stop the bulls from pushing up? Or if the bears are in control, where on this chart can the bulls show up and stop the bears from pushing down? They hide in little places on the chart. And your job is to try to figure out where they could be hiding. And if they're still there, maybe they're gone. I don't know. So who's in control and where are the bears hiding and where in the bulls hiding to stop the other powers to be from moving in the direction they want to be in. So that's the second thing you want to know. Third thing you want to know, what am I looking for? What are you looking for to enter this trade? Now, I can't answer that. Only you can answer that. Even if I give you my system. So, this is the other hard part about trading. Even though I give you my system, you don't think and you cannot see exactly what I see, no matter how hard you try. So, I give you my system as a framework to build yours because it's a lot easier if you've got something to start with and you work with that system until you start to realize some nuances of your own. You know what? When this happens, I see this. When price gets here, it does that. Okay, this system works, but I see things a little different. So I'm going to add this to the system to tweak it to my liking. So think of it as a recipe for a cake. You know, you have a basic vanilla cake you're going to make, and I'm going to give you that recipe. And your job is to say, this vanilla cake is kind of cool, but it would be nice if we added some Oreo cookies. It would be nice if maybe we added a little cream cheese in there. So we have this kind of little um, cheesecake type flavor going on. Maybe it would be nice if we added a little sprinkle of cocoa, like whatever it is. So I'm going to give you the vanilla version of my trading plan. It's vanilla to you, but it's the souped up cake. It's the remix cake for me, but it's vanilla to you. So I'm going to give you that. And then as you are trading, as you are watching these charts, you are going to add your own flavor to that vanilla cake. So in order to say what am I looking for to enter this trade, I have to be on the charts and I have to know what it is that I'm looking for. Next question you want to ask yourself, where's your stop loss going to be? Risk management. Your number one job in the market is to manage your risk. That's your number one job. No money, no trade. So now that I know who's in control, I know where the bears and the bulls are hiding and may push back. I know what I'm looking for to enter this trade. I want to know where's my stop loss. If all things go wrong, how much money am I willing to lose to see if this trade will work out? And then the last thing I want to know is where is my take profit? Well, where is the level I feel price can get to so that I can profit from this trade? Now, my take profit, in my opinion, you may have your own opinion, needs to be at least twice whatever your stop loss is. So if you are willing to lose $100 in a trade to find out if you're correct or not, you need to be willing to make maximum of 200. Excuse me, a minimum of $200. If you can make 3 or 400, great, but a minimum of at least 1 to 2. And why is that important? That is important because even if you lose half your trades, you will still come out profitable. So it's very important you keep that ratio to stay in the green. Now, will you always be in the green? No, because just life happens, things happen. You're not perfect. So you won't always be in the green. But for the most part, you should stay in the green. So I'm going to come here. One, so trade one, we're going to minus 100. Trade two, we're going to minus another 100. Trade three. So I done lost 3 trades in a row. So at this point, I am down $300 from, sorry, 3 trades. It's still kind of early for me. Told y'all I wasn't ready. So, and it would be nice if I spelled trade correctly. So I've taken 3 trades, and at this point, I'm down $300. I'm going to take 2 more trades today. And so, with those trades, at a minimum, I am going to make $200. So I am going to take trade 4, and we have plus 200. And then I have trade 5 that I have plus 200. So now I am up. So I lost 300. So total profit is $100. This is why it's really important to keep that ratio minimum 1 to 2, because you lost over half your trades. You lost 60%. Your win rate is 40% at this time, and you still came out in the positive. So that's why it's really important with your stop loss and your take profit, you keep this balance in your account, because even if things go wrong, you can still come out with a green day. All right, back to the chart. We're on the 30-minute. I'm going to go ahead and drop back down to the 5-minute so we can kind of see what's going on. And basically, we pushed up and we're kind of pushing back down right now. So remember, the market moves up, it pulls back, it moves up, it pulls back. So it could be pulling back to move up. I don't quite know yet because we're on the 5-minute. And there's a lot that happens on the 5-minute that you don't see on the 30-minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily. So always keep your time frame in mind and what you are trying to do. So we're having a little pullback right now. So I'm going to pull this over here as a little reminder so we can discuss this a little bit more. Really important you guys understand this and know this. Very, very, very important. This is definitely a little tidbit here. Who's in control? Where's my support and resistance? What am I looking for to enter this trade? Where is my stop loss? Where is my take profit? If you do not know those things prior to getting in a trade, your job is to sit on your hands and not trade, such as what I'm doing this morning and giving you guys a lesson and showing you exactly what that looks like. I was not prepared. My chart was not marked up with these things on there or on my trading plan for me this morning because I didn't do it last night. So therefore I cannot trade. Um, Showing you your why you need to be consistent. So in this, like you saw me, if you saw one of my other trades, I'm usually at 3 contracts on the micro. There's a couple times in different videos you've seen me add, but the reason you want to be consistent with your lot size, because if I have this one on 3 and this one on 10 and this one on 12 and these on 2, you're going to have your results are going to look a lot different. And instead of being up 100, you might be down several hundred or so. So, I would try to be consistent with your lot size as well while doing this. Um, I'm not saying that you cannot add to the position depending on, if you're in an option contract, if you're over here on futures, is we're on the NASDAQ E-mini right now. This is the futures QQQ. So, your lot size is going to matter because you kind of need to be consistent. Now, once the trade is going in your direction and you want to multiply your profits, you add, but you need to be consistent in the number of contracts you start with. Even on the option side, if you want to start with one, wait, make sure things are going in your direction, you can add another one. Um, One thing I am going to advise you against on the option side, especially if we're talking short dated contracts, is do not average down on a losing contract. Um, you literally can't afford it. So we'll get more into that later, but my suggestion is to not average down on a losing contract on the option side, especially for something dated like the same day, the next day, or the end of the week, especially. So, this is your little 30-minute session here. Hopefully it was helpful. Like I said, we just wanted to see what did Core PCE bring. It brought us a little pop up. We broke over, and I told you if you go back and listen, I said if we break this yellow line, I would be looking for a pullback. And so far we're getting that. Now I didn't say how far we're pulling back. I just said I was looking for a pullback. And that's just because I know how price is and I know how it works and what I'm looking for. So, what I would do right now while I'm waiting for price to finish pulling back, I would go and look for a setup of where I would want to get into this trade, whether it be the upside or downside, which is determined who's in control, but from the higher time frame, not from the 5 minute. Um, and then I'd mark my chart, and then I'd basically wait for price to get to where I want to enter, and then I'd take the trade. So that's how this process works. But if nothing else, I wanted you to understand when you come to the chart unprepared, you do nothing. You sit on your hands, or you sit here and set yourself up to be able to get into the next trade. All right, guys, that is my time. I hope this was helpful as usual. Please comment below. I love to hear your comments and respond to you. You guys have a great Friday, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, y'all, welcome back. So, we are going to look at how the day panned out. Today is Friday, September 26th, 2025. It's about 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So, we have about an hour and a half left with the market open. When I saw you earlier today, we were kind of in this consolidation. We broke out, we went back in. So, we are going to see what the day ended up looking like and if anything changed, if we made any big moves or not. So come on, join me. Let's go. Let's see what happened. Hey, y'all, and welcome back to the charts. So, squeeze this in. I have marked off pre-market. So this is our 4 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. This candle was our core PCE. Price was consolidating. It pushed up, it pushed back. 9:30 opened. We had a movement down then up. And then the 10 o'clock consumer sentiment opened, and then we had this huge 200 plus point candle to the downside. Now, the interesting thing about the consumer sentiment is they only survey 800 people. I have no idea who these 800 people are, and I have no idea how 800 people can decide consumer sentiment for an entire nation. So that's a whole nother topic, but there's where we are. So they didn't like whatever, I'm assuming. I honestly haven't even looked what the consumer sentiment had to say. And so we've got this nice 200 point candle down, and literally we almost got a 200 point move right back up. So this is about almost 500 points for the day, even though it moved. Now, this moved pretty quick. This move was pretty slow. So, if you truly wanted to trade, which I did trade today, and I didn't trade much, but it wasn't a bad day. Um, I mean, any day you're in the green is not a bad day for me. So, it doesn't matter. It was $10, $5, $2, whatever. If you're in the green, it was a good day. And really, I shouldn't even say that, to be honest. If you followed your plan and executed the way you were supposed to, and it worked out, the probability gods and everything worked out in your favor, it was a good day. Simply because you profited does not honestly make it a good day. It's have you been consistent and followed your plan is a good day. And I want to start trying to change that narrative. So you'll hear me correct myself in some of the language that I use, because it's not about the profits. It's about, do you have a repeatable process so that you can have a good day most days? And I'm saying most days because none of us are perfect and we are going to mess up sometimes. So get off that soapbox here and close out today. We may break up out of here. Like I said, we may break up out, who knows, and go back up. The market has been known to do weird things the last 45 minutes to an hour. So I don't know. They may break out and go on a little run. But as far as me, I'm going to start my Friday now and go enjoy it. But we have been in consolidation. This candle's been open for 10 minutes. It's a 30-minute candle. I'm going to drop down to the 5 minute, and still moving kind of slow. We've got 23 seconds left on this candle right here. That's currently a 5 minute candle. I'll let it play out. But I just don't expect a whole lot from the market right now on a Friday, about an hour and 20 minutes before closing. Like I said, there have been stranger things that have happened, and the market just got jiggy with it the last 45 minutes to an hour before closing. So you never know. But as for me, if I miss it, it's okay. Like I told you earlier, there's always another opportunity. So if you miss this one, it's fine. You just sit and you wait for one on Monday. There will be lots next week because there's lots going on, um, and should give us some volatility and some movement in the market. That is my time. You guys have a great weekend. And just for reference, this is September 26th. It's about 2:40, September 26th, 2025. It's about 2:40 p.m. We are on the MNQ. This is the mini micro of the QQQ futures index. So you can go back and reference this chart anytime you like. And I will tell you this, most of my trades, I try to do them live. Even though I'm paper trading, I'm almost always paper trading. I'm rarely in my live account. That's just how I like to do it. Um, but you can always tell I'm in the live market because this little countdown bar, they don't have that in replay. You only get that in the live market. So, and then you could see right here, I'm September, what was it? September 25th at 2:45. I don't think it's 2:45 yet. It's 2:40. So you can see that there are no candles after that because that time has not happened. So I do my best to show you real time, so that you can see that I kind of know a little bit about a little something, and I'm actually able to show you in the live market because that's really where it's going to count. Replay is great for back testing, but in all honesty, um, I would like to be able to showcase to you in the real market that not only do I kind of know a little something about a little something, I can also execute against that little something I know about. So hopefully that's helpful. But once again, if you have questions, comments, or if there's something you'd like to see, just put it in the comments and I may answer you with an actual video. You guys have a great weekend and I will see you in the next video.